philosopher, president, an old friend coming back to visit. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan is welcomed by President John F. Kennedy.
Mr. President, I want to express a very warm welcome to you, to the United States. We're glad to have you here for many reasons. First, you are the President of the largest democracy in the world, a country which is on the other side of the globe, but with which we feel bound by the closest ties of a common commitment to the independence of our countries and the integrity of our individual citizens. And personally, I'm glad to welcome you here, Mr. President, because of your own kindness to Mrs. Kennedy during her journey to India. The President is a noted philosopher. When I commented on the weather this morning, he said we cannot always control events, but we can always control our attitude towards events. This is only the beginning, I'm sure, Mr. President, of a good deal of wisdom which we will derive from your visit, so that I know that I speak on behalf of all of my countrymen in welcoming the distinguished President of a great country to the shores of the United States. Mr. President.
Mr. President, I thank you for your very kind words, and I am glad to be here accepting your invitation. It gives me an opportunity to meet you, Mrs. Kennedy, the leaders of your government, and your people. Our relations with your country have been close and intimate. In the period of our struggle for independence, we had great sympathy and support from your government and people. We greet in you, Mr. President, an understanding and sympathetic friend, aware of the efforts we are making to build a liberal democracy in our country at a time when in many parts of the world the fabric of democracy is crumbling down. I hope the few days I stay here will be able to know the attitudes, objectives of our two countries a little better. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for your kind invitation.
The columns of Arlington Memorial stand watch, like sentries frozen in timeless formation. The act of placing a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier keeps alive the memory of brave, nameless men. For President Radhakrishnan, the gesture recalls the Indian and American soldiers who fought and died in common purpose. Today, India and the United States are the largest democracies in the world, two countries with vastly different cultures. It is interesting that both should have chosen the most difficult form of government. Yet this fact binds both peoples and finds expression in mutual warmth and respect. Men are imperfect, but the temples they build are meant to perpetuate the ideal. these monuments are dedicated to the idea that men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights: life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. The capital of the United States, a forum where freely elected citizens labor to see that these ideals are met and kept. In this historic room, the many shades of argument about foreign policy are proposed by senior senators, whose actions are the beginnings of legislation. The senators have invited President Radhakrishnan and his party to tea.
He is a man who walks with serenity amidst the alarms and excursions of our temporary problems, and it is with deep pleasure that I give you the President of India, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan.
Another group, experienced in international affairs, is the Washington Press Corps, who have invited the President to dine and talk to them.
Democracy saves your soul. It preserves the integrity of your spirit. It makes you feel that the world is not worth purchase at the cost of your soul. That is why, come what may, whatever may be the consequences or cost, we are pledged to adopt the democratic way of life, and we'll carry on with that as far as possible.
This is Cape Canaveral. It is like the end of the world we know and the beginning of uncharted landscapes where trees are gigantic gantries and birds are great rockets that soar beyond the grasp of Earth. It occurred to President Radhakrishnan how instinctive a genius man has for creating incredible tools of science. He is using them to explore a universe that offers all possibilities and is terrifyingly alien. His own prosaic world is far from harmonious. Yet his mind reaches for the unknown. Man is always the restless pioneer, tracking new frontiers. The President is eyewitness to the launching of a research rocket. The Earth has become a footstool to reach for the stars and touch the moon. From launching pads on the Florida coast to futuristic monorails in California, we have spanned the American continent and entered an age of pure fantasy called Disneyland. Disneyland has become a landmark, the work of a man who has given children everywhere a universal language expressing joy and adventure. Enjoying the role of tourist, the President visits Marineland of the Pacific with the spectacle of exotic communities under the sea and the performance of antic mammals. Here at MGM Studios, the President's party watches a scene being shot of a new film about the Nobel Peace Prize. stars are not new to President Radhakrishnan. He tells his hosts that in India, actors enjoy special status and have been elected to high office. It is only a few hours from the scenic make-believe of Hollywood to the age-old Rocky Mountains in Colorado, where the United States Bureau of Reclamation is deep in research on a project of close interest to India, the development of water resources. An experiment in testing the strength of construction materials used in building dams is underway. The most urgent problem is water control. These models are the prototypes of giant dams. Ways have to be found to change the natural course of rivers, to stem the wasteful flow and harness the flood. In the last 30 years, the United States government has made great progress in controlling and conserving floodwaters. This is Friant Dam on the San Joaquin, a river that has been, depending on nature's whim, either a pitifully thin stream or a raging torrent. But now a concrete barrier has tamed it, making it pay out slowly as the need for water arises. This man-made canal runs through arid land, useless in the long, dry season. Now the soil supports a wide variety of crops: grapes, cotton, alfalfa, rice, many others. Farmers no longer look at the summer sky, waiting for clouds that never seem to materialize. Flying across America at more than 600 miles per hour, the president compares the smallness of the earth below with the vast universe above. Even the Grand Canyon is dwarfed from his lofty perspective. This is the city of New York. The canyons of Lower Broadway have witnessed the welcome of many distinguished visitors. Today, the ticker tapes and flags fly for the President of India. Up along the East River is a piece of New York that actually belongs to the world, the headquarters of the United Nations. A special meeting of the General Assembly is called to hear President Radhakrishnan speak as the head of a great nation. What he has to say is typical of all his speeches. It is precise, it is rational, it is deeply felt.
The highest concept is world community. It is that kind of world community to which we have to attach ourselves. It is unfortunate that we are still the victims of concepts which are outmoded, which are outdated, so to say. We are living in a new world, and in a new world, new type of men is necessary. And unless we are able to change our minds, to change our hearts, it will not be possible for us to survive in this world. The challenge that is open to us is it survival or annihilation?
The work of the United Nations might well start in the curricula of the world's universities. In President Radhakrishnan's words, a university must stand for the pursuit of truth and goodness. Intellectual integrity has been the fundamental principle of human life. From 3 universities on his journey, the President received honorary doctorates of laws, tokens of respect for a great teacher. In America today, there is a growing interest in Indian affairs, culture, and philosophy. Indian students studying in American universities are making their mark on the cultural life of the campus. There is time for meditation and time for friends like the novelist Irving Stone. The literary works of Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan are well known to American writers. He has done much to make philosophy a political reality and a cultural bridge between East and West.